Throughout the pandemic, all people have experienced the lockdowns, curfews, and mandates proposed by the government, finding that their old way of life can no longer exist due to the virus. But as time passed, there slowly emerged two sides that treated how the pandemic was handled. On one side is the Republican response to the pandemic, having a more relaxed policy that grants more freedom.
At the end of the day in Florida, Floridians know we will not let anybody lock them down. We will not let anyone take their jobs. We will not let anyone ruin their businesses, and we will not let anyone close their schools. So people are going to be able to live life. They're going to be able to make their own decisions.
Democrats, on the other hand, prefer a more strict pandemic policy with mask and vaccine mandates and lockdowns.
We're the first state in the country to lean in, requiring all state workers to have vaccine verification. We followed that up with being the first state to require vaccine mandates for all healthcare workers in the nation. We then followed up and became the first state in the country last week to require all of our staff, not just teachers, paraprofessionals in our public schools and private schools, to have vaccine verifications as well. And just yesterday, we leaned in to become the first state to identify what we refer to as mega events indoors to require similar vaccine verifications. We continue to believe in science. We continue to believe in masking. And so all of those things sort of assert, not just prove, or rather prove, not just assert, this notion that we continue to lean in and take very seriously this moment.
Currently, as of January 2022, the top 10 states with the most cases per 100,000 are Rhode Island, Wisconsin, South Carolina, Utah, Delaware, Hawaii, North Carolina, California, Vermont, and Arkansas. Of the 10 states with the most cases, 6 of them lean Democrat, at least to the question of whether or not such policies such as mask mandates or lockdowns are effective. In fact, of the 10 states with the least cases, masks are mandated only in one state, while 3 states, Montana, Georgia, and Iowa, have rejected or banned mask mandates altogether. The rejection of mask mandates can reflect the overall strictness of the state and whether or not they tend to take the more Democratic or Republican approach in handling the pandemic. Republican states such as Florida have long since opened up, leading to an increase in their economy and moving away from the lockdown, which are known to have caused a significant increase in mental illness, suicides, and adverse effects on children.
There have been some wonderful studies looking at adults. There was a great CDC study that compared the rates of anxiety and depression in adults in the spring of 2019 versus the spring of 2020. And what they found is that the percentage of adults who had a symptom of anxiety in 2019 was about 8%, and the percentage of adults with a symptom of depression was 6.5%. And then in 2020, that jumps up. 25% of adults are experiencing a symptom of anxiety, 24% experiencing symptom of depression. We actually have found that 20% of children in Queens are experiencing post-traumatic stress right now. 24% are reporting significant symptoms of depression. And we're seeing a third of kids, parents are reporting serious behavior problems in those kids.
And such issues can have outlasting effects well after the pandemic. But on the other hand, schools and other public places are areas with high transmission and contact between people, which can cause increase in cases.
Large-scale quarantines or large number of cases are generally occurring in schools because schools are not following our guidance, particularly our recommendations for teacher as well as students age 12 and over to be vaccinated and for everyone right now to be masked.
Such is the dilemma of lawmakers. It is up to them to decide between mental illness and the pandemic. But whatever their choice is, it will surely affect the lives of many people.